Hello, this is Chas with Heirloom Leaves and Seeds, and today I am going to show you guys how I overwinter dahlias. I have quite a few tubers and I've tried storing them indoors over the winter, and I've had a lot of issues with them drying out, rotting. It's kind of hard to find that happy medium there. And so I took a chance a couple years ago and I just left them in the ground. And guess what? They came up just fine. Now, I live in Tennessee and in Zone B, and I'm kind of on that edge where you can get away with this. Now, who knows? One year we may have a very, very cold winter and I may regret it, but for the past 3 years, this is how I've been doing it. So, let me show you the area that I am going to cover, and I'll show you how I overwinter my dahlias. Here you can see the remnants, the leftovers of some of this year's dahlias. Now here in front of me is Boom Boom White, and I'll put my feet in here so you can see. This is a big clump, and as you can see, if you look right around here, you can kind of see where the tubers are. Now, I was a little worried about this at first because there's something called heaving, and that's when it gets cold, then hot, then cold, then, well, maybe warm, and it will cause perennials typically to kind of heave out of the soil. So I was worried about the dahlias doing this, but they do this every year, and it's never been an issue. So I'm not sure on the dimensions, but I usually have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, which is actually back here. It's a little off, or I might have had one here. I'm not sure. Look at this. Peaches and cream. I've tried to grow this for 2 years now, and nothing ever comes up. So I forgot I had even bought it. And they're so expensive. I don't know why. I've never had any troubles with hardly any other tubers, but that one, I don't know what my problem is. And me and my sisters bought this one year, and I don't know if we just had bad tubers, but none of us successfully grew it. They all died. I don't know what happened. But I'm done with peaches and cream. There is so many other tubers that will probably be just fine. Have you guys had trouble with peaches and cream? Let me know if you have, or I don't know, maybe it's just me and my sisters. But here's, let's see, I think this one is Diva, Cornell Bronze, Marn. That's a few of them here. And what I'm going to do is I have collected some leaves and some pine needles, and I'm just going to put it around them and then cover it with a frost blanket or frost cloth. So here is what I have raked up. It's a combination of pine needles, it's white pine, and then these are maple leaves. And this is what I have used for the past 3 years. And you know, yeah, it'd be better if they were broken down a little bit, but it seems to work, so I'm going to stick with it. So basically what I'm going to do here is I am just going to start putting this all around the little dahlia mounds that's left. Now you're going to want to go ahead and cover them right after you put these leaves down, because they stay pretty good, but the wind will blow some away. So I like to put it down and cover them all in the same day. All right, time to go get some more leaves. And I'm not going to bury that too much. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them over the top. I don't like to bury the crown. I'll just put it all around it though in a nice thick layer. So you're just going to see the very top of the little stalk stubs. And I usually leave 4 to 6 inches of these. And this just helps you remember where they are. These are the paint sticks and the garden marker. And so far, so good. They've been working pretty well. And now I'm going to look around and just check for any places that are a little thin. Make sure it's on top of the dahlias just a little bit. They look pretty good. There might just be a few areas, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And now I'll show you an aerial view of this little patch of 9 dahlias that I just covered. Okay, there's really not that much to see, but if you really look, here's some of the stems that's out. So I've got these guys covered, and next I will put on the frost cover. And here's a little bit more of the garden. I've been working on weeding some of these beds, and I got to cut some of this grass back. This area right here I'm going to leave until the beginning of next year. It's behind the raised beds. For the most part, I think I've got them pretty well weeded for the year, because those weeds that overwinter can be pretty bad. And then when you uncover them in the spring, then you've got a mess on your hands. And they were starting already. I mean, it's crazy how quick they can take hold. And this is back to my poppies. And then down here I've got some sweet William. These are some broccoli and cabbage that I planted. They look a little sad at the moment, but we had a really hard frost. And I'm pretty sure they'll perk up again. Tonight we are actually supposed to have a chance of snow. It's 66 right now, which is crazy, but you can feel that the temperature is about to drop. All right, time for the frost blanket. All right, so here I've got my frost cover, and I forget exactly what this is that I bought, but it's relatively thin. And what I'm pointing out here is that I'm not getting this to protect the plants from cold, because it's pretty thin and that's really not going to do much. It might help a degree or two, but this is not why I'm putting this on. I'm putting this on to keep the leaves in place and to protect them from the wind. And it'll offer a little bit of protection, but all the plants that I have out here, they should be able to handle some cold. And I have thicker ones, but sometimes I feel like it's too much. So this is what I use. I don't know how I got so lucky, but this sheet just happens to be the width of my beds and pretty much the length too. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to cover everything up, and I am going to put bricks down on top of this to hold it down. Ideally, sandbags would be better, but I'm using what I have, and I've got bricks. All right, that does it for today. I've got everything covered. We might get a little bit of snow tonight, so I feel much better having my dahlias mulched with some maple leaves and pine straw. Now they've got a little bit more protection. I feel a lot better now. You know, this is mid-December. It took the dahlias quite a bit of time to go ahead and die back. I could have knocked them down. Some people do that, but I just let them do it naturally. I feel like they'll die back when they're ready. If we get some cold weather tonight and some snow, they'll be ready for it. Well, I hope you guys like this video and you have a nice weekend. Bye.